then you need to watch this video. So today I'm going to talk about the whole client onboarding process and how you can automate things, maximize your time by using simple videos. And I'm going to share the process that I use. So we're going to dig into why you should utilize video onboarding, how to get started, the power of video. I love those videos. And then how can you plan out your videos, and then just some simple tools that I use. And then we'll wrap it up by how can you create this seamless experience for your clients and also for you and your team. So let's get started by, first of all, talking about why is it so important? This whole onboarding process that you have with your clients, here's the deal. It sets the tone for that entire experience that you and them have. So when you have this smooth onboarding experience, this welcoming, like opening the door, welcoming to this warm house, it builds that trust and that confidence right from the start. And once you nail down this onboarding experience, it will streamline your operations. And what does that mean? It means you can save time and money. All right. And also, when you really analyze how you're onboarding your clients, you can take it up a notch so that you're always delivering this top shelf onboarding experience. And by doing this, what will it do? Not only does it enhance your client satisfaction, but it also boosts your productivity and scalability. So let's jump in. How do you get started doing this? Because it might feel kind of overwhelming. What I tell my clients is, let's start writing down what is the current process. And this might take you a few days or a few iterations. So every time you onboard a client, just take a minute, write down what are the steps, and then map out each one of those touch points. So my onboarding starts right on the thank you page. Okay. And that thank you page has a video on it. And then what's the next step in my onboarding process? It's that initial email. Okay. And then how do they get access to the resources, the courses, and all of that kind of stuff? All right. So you get the idea by mapping that out. And then I also want you to think about and identify what is the outcome that you want from each step. Now, pay attention to this. This is super important, because from the get-go, you are training your clients. So, in the thank you video, for instance, on the thank you page, you could give them a little assignment just right from there. And then on that first email that you send out, give them an assignment. Just ask them to hit the reply button or click on the link and join the Facebook group, whatever it is. By identifying what outcome do you want them to do? Do you want them to click on something, respond, schedule their first appointment, upload the files, return the contract, whatever it is? So identify those outcomes. Excuse me. And then once you've got all this mapped out, identify what of these steps can you automate, right? We'll talk more about that in a little bit. So now let's go on to the second bullet point here is, let's talk about the power of videos. Excuse me. I get to talking too much and then I lose my voice. Why do I recommend using videos in your onboarding process? First of all, videos are more engaging than text. Let's face it, we all have short attention spans. So if you have that video, you will capture their attention quicker, and it's usually easier to digest, especially for visual learners. Little side note, make sure that you also have written summaries at the bottom. That way, regardless of how they like to learn, they've got that information. Another powerful reason to make sure you're doing all of this in video is it gives that consistent message. So regardless of who comes into your world, they are all being handled the same way, getting the same information. And when you have things on video, very important, it reduces that risk of misunderstanding. Okay. So they know exactly what to do, how to do it. And if, as you're coaching your clients, if there's ever a question, you can actually just bring that video back up or refer to it so that they know exactly what they need to be doing. And again, keep in mind, the power of video is it's easier for your client to retain that information. And when people first come into your world, if you have a video, it immediately kind of cements that connection that you have with them. It starts building that personal relationship. So then when you have that first coaching experience with them, they feel more comfortable because they've already seen you, listened to you, watched you, and all of that. And when you create these videos and you personalize them, you don't have to have their name in it, but you can create these videos in such a way it feels like you're talking just to them one to one. Okay. So, how valued and welcome will they feel? And again, the power of videos. Why am I pushing videos? It's going to save you time. How many times have you repeated the same thing over and over again? So, when you create these little mini videos, you've got the information right there. And let's face it, we're all busy. Some people may sign up to your program, but they resurface 2 or 3 months later. I can't remember what I had for breakfast. But if you have these in video format, it's easy to point people back to that point. Excuse me. Another beautiful benefit of videos is your client can watch at their own pace, their own speed. I have a tendency to, I don't think I talk slow, but I think I do. So I just tell people crank up the speed a little bit. And so they feel like that they're in control. And also then they have a reference point that they know that they can always go back to it whenever they need it. And because we're talking about maximizing your time, once you create these videos and automate things, it truly will make your whole onboarding process scalable and sustainable. So it doesn't, whether you're onboarding one person or 10 people, it's super easy because you've got these things set up. Okay, so we've talked about why you need it and the power of video. So now let's talk about how do you do it? How do you actually plan this out? Well, the first thing, as I talked about, mapping out what you need. So identify those key topics and the purpose for each one of your videos. And this probably feels like a huge job. So what I want you to do is, of all of the steps and everything you go through with your clients, what's the most critical piece that you need to accomplish or have your client accomplish? Is it logging into the membership or signing the paperwork or whatever it is? So start there first. Okay. So then at least you can start building on this platform and think about in the onboarding, what can you do? What assignment can you give your people to give them a quick win? This is super important because once people have that first win, they really get excited. And so if you can give them a little mini win even before they start working with you, they're going to be super excited. And then as you are planning out this whole process of your videos, block it off on your calendar. The next Friday, I'm going to block off the entire morning and I'm going to batch record. And then you just start doing it. It's so much easier when you can batch your work. All right. Now, so any tips on scripting and actually writing and doing the videos? Here's what I do. I just create a simple outline. I don't write it out word for word. In my mind, I have somebody that I'm talking to, and I just go through the steps. I have the little bullets to make sure that I'm not going to miss anything for that particular video. And I just make it personal. Again, you don't have to use first names, but you can just say something like, hey, super excited that we're going to be working together. Now, there's a few things you need to do. The very first thing I'm going to ask you to do, XYZ. Okay. And you just walk them through it. The next thing to keep in mind is keep these videos short, even though this particular video is a little longer. Your onboarding videos need to be tiny bite size that they can get through it. Maybe 2 to 5 minutes max. All right. Because again, we want to keep them moving and give them that feeling of winning. All right. And then I always tell people use the 3 T's in your video. T. Okay. So you tell them what you're going to talk about. You tell them. And then you tell them what you told them. Okay, the 3 T's. So you're giving them the preview, you're giving them the information, and then you're just giving a quick recap. And that will help kind of cement it. Now, the next little mini topic here is how do you get started as far as the tools, tech, all that kind of stuff. Here's the little tip for you. Don't start buying a bunch of fancy equipment. Oh, I need a microphone. I need, a different camera, all that kind of stuff. Just get started. You can always have version 2, version 3 later. Just get started and use super simple tools. I think one of the best tools out there is Loom, Loom. I think it's like 10, 12 bucks a month. I don't know. Super affordable. The reason I love using Loom is you can create folders. It will give you, like a raw transcript, but at least you have the text. You can have the links. You can also have the embed code. Super easy, super affordable. I use it all the time. That's probably my number one tool in my toolkit, actually. Another nice little tool that you can use, it's called Crisp, KRISP.ai. It's a noise cancellation. So it's like a virtual microphone and it cancels some of the background noises. It's free, or they have a free version anyway. So if you have Loom, you don't even have to have Crisp, but those two things, hey, you're good to go. Try to record your videos in a quiet place. If you have a window that you can face, that's great. Well lit. Again, don't rush out and think that you have to start buying a bunch of equipment. Just have a well lit room and go to it. Then the last tip, excuse me, for recording is practice, practice, practice. Not practice for perfection. I'm kind of a one take girl, as you can tell if you've watched videos. I don't go back, do a lot of editing, anything like that, because, hey, this is how I am in real life. I clear my throat, I cough, I do all that kind of stuff. And again, especially for onboarding, we want to make that personal connection with people. But when I talk about practicing, what I mean is just get used to seeing and hearing yourself on camera. I mean, I cringed when I first started doing it. It's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I sound that way. I can't believe I look that way. But the end of the day, people don't care. They're just looking for that connection with you. So just practice. Just get used to seeing yourself on camera and everything's going to be great. Trust me. All right. Now, we're kind of coming close to the end, so good for you if you're still sticking here with me. Let's talk about integrating videos into your entire onboarding system. So the first thing is it starts with training. So training your people. So again, when they hit that thank you page, have a video there. Get them used to clicking the play button. All right. And then let them know, hey, I love connecting with you. Make sure that you watch. I've got a couple other videos coming your way. And you just kind of keep feeding the engine, so to speak. And then also remind them every step of the way how they can access the video library. Okay, so you could have a link at the bottom of your email when you send out saying, click here to get back to the onboarding videos in the Facebook group, whatever it is, but always have it kind of front and center so that they know, oh, okay, I don't have to dig through 50 days of emails just to find that link to get to the onboarding videos. Because trust me, we've all been there. We've started something. We get distracted. Even if it's 2 days later, it just feels like a year has gone by and we can't find things. So make it easy for your people. And then ask for feedback. As somebody goes through the onboarding process, just ask them once they've gone through it, what worked for you? What did you like? What did you hate? And so then you can constantly refine your process. And then one of the most important things is always, always, always let your people know how they can get additional support. I had joined a program and it was a pretty techie program and I'm a tech geek, but I got lost in the woods. I could not get, try to get my way out of the woods, but they had a couple of resources. So I knew that I could get help. So there was a calendar button so I could schedule a time. There was also like a little help area. So always have some additional support resources for your people. Because again, in this initial onboarding, you want every step of the way to be positive and successful and that you're there for them so that they can relax and just enjoy the experience, right? Is that making sense? If you're watching this, put some comments down below what you liked about some of these tips. And then let's just wrap it up here by talking about how can you create this seamless experience? Because again, you don't want a repertoire of videos that just look like hodgepodge, right? So make sure that you use consistent branding throughout the entire onboarding experience so that they know what to expect. You can film it all in one day. It doesn't matter if you're wearing the same outfit, who cares? Or if you film it on different days and you have different outfits, but, is the background the same or the logo on the bottom? Because, as comfort creatures, we like to kind of settle in so we know what to expect. Another tip that I want to share with you is please don't use the same repetitive opening for every single video onboarding video. That gets tiring very quickly. So even if it's like a 2-sentence, welcome back and blah, 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 and blah, 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 it's like, just get to the point. Okay. Instead, just jump right in and say, okay, this video, we're going to talk about how do you log into the membership. Good. They know what to expect and you're rolling. And then have a place in your onboarding system, my favorite word, right? So that you know when to update something. So, maybe you change platforms, or maybe the membership area looks different now. And I'm going to show you a really cool spreadsheet in a second. Make a note saying, okay, we need to update this onboarding. So if you catch things when they happen, not that you have to run that day and fix it, but you've captured, okay, these things need tweaking, then, based on your schedule, you'll know, okay, I need to fix that on Friday is when I do it, whatever it is, right? And then the last thing is just test the entire onboarding flow and try to get someone to go through it, preferably somebody that's not familiar with your process. And just ask them, okay, what seemed confusing? What worked for you? What would you like more information on? And then make those changes, and then you're good to go. So let's do a quick recap. Remember the 3 T's? So now I'm on the last T. Let me just do a quick recap of what we've covered. When you are planning out your onboarding process, kind of map it out. What are all the steps? What are all of the objectives that you want to happen at each step? And instead of eating the whole elephant in one day, one bite at a time. So start small, pick out those critical pieces that you're repeating every time with each new client, and start with those first. And look for quick wins. So make these videos small, and can you help them make a quick win for each of these? Again, you don't have to write out entire scripts, anything like that. Just use little bullet points. Always think about you're talking one-to-one with that person. And then remember, I said the 3 T's just at the beginning of the video. Just tell them, just jump right in. This video is going to talk about XYZ. Then teach it to them, then do a super quick review of what it is. And how do you manage all of this? Create systems, my favorite word, and use checklists. I've got a great one I'm going to show you here in just a minute. And then just like everything else in your business, run through it, practice it, test it, and refine it. So each step of the way. And then guess what? You've got this beautiful automated onboarding system that uses videos for your clients that they are just going to love it. They're going to connect with you and just absolutely love it. So let me share my screen here, and I'm just going to show you a spreadsheet that will make the whole process so much easier. So in this spreadsheet, it talks about the different stages. So the welcoming stage, and these are just examples, okay? So what's the first welcome message, okay? You in that initial email or on the thank you page, what's the purpose of it? What's the content? This column here is you can put little thumbnails. Again, these are just placeholders. But what I love about this spreadsheet is in a quick overview, you can see what videos. Remember, I said to map things out. So what I would do is I would start with just kind of mapping out what stages and what things are you like teaching and telling every step of the way. And then okay, I probably need a video for this. And then, start working on it step by step. And then this spreadsheet will help you just kind of keep track of everything. What's nice also is, let me make this just a little bigger, is put the duration of the video when you created it, when you outlined it or reviewed it. You can link to, excuse me, either a Google Doc or Canva. Where is the video located? Is it on Loom, YouTube? And all of these things can be modified also. And then put the video link, and then also the embed link. And then over here for the coach, as you're working through, you've created it and you've edited it. Okay, now you've uploaded it and you've had somebody test it. Okay. And then if there are any resources that go along with that particular onboarding video, and then what type of document is, and then has it been uploaded? All right. So this will just help you map out the entire process. The other thing up here at the top, it does a count. So right now, this little template has 13 videos, very long-winded ones here, and it keeps track of the actual hours. So this is a lot here. These are just samples here. For instance, this never do a 2-hour video, but you get the point. So it's just nice to have that in a little nutshell. So anyway, this is, you could create something very similar to this. This is going to help you define the entire system, help you get started. Again, you're not going to do it all in a day. So just start mapping out, use this to map out the next time you have a client. Okay, what do? I have a welcome video, or I would like a welcome video on the thank you page. On my email, I want to send them the program overview. I want to send them another email on how to navigate the platform. You get the idea. Okay, so just use this and start mapping it out. Let me come back here face to face. And before you know it, you will have this streamlined, automated, beautiful onboarding experience for your people. They will fall in love with you even before that first coaching session. So hope you like this. By the way, the spreadsheet, it's in my Etsy shop, so you can purchase it there. Or as always, if you're part of my Digital Business Academy membership, it's something that my members get there. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you're catching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. That would be awesome. All right. Thanks again.